been asking me. And then somebody eventually suggested, have you thought about counseling? Have you thought about becoming a counselor? And I had nothing in my education ever. I had no idea. I didn't even understand what psychology meant. Had nothing. I knew nothing about anything like that. It was like, if you go, my thing, I was going to be, you're either a scientist or a doctor or, or as I was going towards, I was, it was like computer programmer or something like that. I was going to go into IT, stuff like that. But I knew nothing about this whatsoever. But somebody said, "Oh, do you want to, have you thought about counseling?" So I sort of like looked into it and thought, goodness, there's this whole field of like, to do with like emotions and, and I was like, I know this stuff. This is what I
actually had a bit of like an intuition about it, I guess.
Yeah, definitely through the experience that I'd had, and probably I'd say that I kind of like may have had the latent talent in that sort of like a latent, not say talent, but a latent motivation in that area. So I sort of like did some counselling for a little while, and then
when you said you did some counselling, did you go and you went to see a counsellor, or you were?
No, I actually went to classes and sort of like studied it and was really interested. I kind of like went down this whole pathway where I was really, really interested in, and it wasn't just that. I kind of like opened up I studied. It was kind of like almost like an awakening. So
the enlightenment.
It was very much an enlightenment, in some ways, okay, it was maybe too much of an enlightenment. Because
the red pill philosophy, you kind of, once you know, then there's no going back.
It was definitely one of those. And sometimes it was that rabbit hole that I'd gone down was probably a little bit too far, so it was like.
Too much too quick.
You're too much too quick. So I was lost in some places. But the thing was, it was something where I was sort of like certainly going in the right direction in terms of the fact that I was opening up my mind and I was, opening up my mind to my mind, body and spirit, if you like. I certainly pushed the boundaries and it was great. But there was always something with the counseling. There was always this thing where it was great for the part of myself where I was sort of like, I was able to utilize my compassion. But there was the other side to myself that I said, where I kind of like I knew people could do so much more. They could achieve so much more. I was looking at people and saying, yeah, but you realize you can achieve so much more. Counseling is more almost reflective. So it deals with the past or the recent past. And so it's more kind of like reflective, but I was kind of like saying, but I want to deal with your future as well. And so I was still searching, and that's when I came across life coaching, and it was just a game changer, a complete game changer, because it's very much set in the future.